Good morning, my dear students. Myself, Kausar Momin. Chapter number 14, Measurement and Effects of Heat. I hope you all have done the work which I have given you in the last lecture. I hope you all have understand the concept of heat. Today we will go ahead with the another topic, and the topic is we have to see over here about temperature. Like measurement of temperature, we can measure it with degree Celsius, we can measure it with Fahrenheit, we can measure it with Kelvin. So what are the ranges over there that we have to see over here? So we will go ahead with some activity. Let's go ahead with the activity. Take two vessels A and B of same size. Fill some water in A and double that amount in B. Suppose we have to consider here two vessels of same size. We are filling water. As compared to A vessel, we have to put the water in B as double. Okay, make sure that the water with both vessels are at the same temperature. So whatever the temperature of water A vessel, the same temperature should be with B vessel. Okay, afterwards raise the temperature of water in both vessels by 10 degrees Celsius by using spirit lamp. By using heat, now we have to give the heat to with these two vessels, and now the heat should be, we have to start with the 10 degrees Celsius. Here little amount of water, here it is double amount of water. So did the same time to increase the temperature in two vessels? Obviously no, because here amount of water is greater than the amount of water vessel of A. Okay, so we must have required more time to raise the temperature of water in B vessel. This means that for the same increase in temperature, we had to give more amount of heat to B vessel. So we can say that even though the water in A and B have the same temperature, the amount of heat in B is more than A, because amount of water is more than the B. Temperature is measured in units of Celsius, Fahrenheit and Kelvin. These are the units of temperature. Whatever the measurement of temperature is there, we can measure the temperature in these units. Very first unit is Celsius, second unit is Fahrenheit, and third unit is Kelvin. Scientifically, we use Kelvin in the experiment, while the other two are used in daily life. If you want to measure the temperature of water, if you measure the temperature of humidity and all, you can measure it degree Celsius, and body temperature you can measure with the Fahrenheit. If you go to the doctor, if you will check our temperature of body, then the temperature of body is in Fahrenheit. So this with these three there is a relation: Fahrenheit, Celsius and Kelvin, and the relation is this. You can observe here Fahrenheit Celsius relation, and this is the relation of Kelvin. If suppose 30 degrees Celsius is temperature and you want to convert it into Kelvin, then whatever 30 degrees Celsius temperature, you have to add 273.15, then your 30 degree Celsius will convert into Kelvin. Okay, 30 plus 273 will be whatever your final answer. So this is the conversion of Celsius to Kelvin, and few description is over here. It is given the boiling point of water in Fahrenheit, degree Celsius and Kelvin. Freezing point of water Fahrenheit 32 Fahrenheit, 0 degree Celsius and 273 Kelvin. Room temperature is 272 Fahrenheit, 23 degrees Celsius and Kelvin is 296. Boiling point of mercury is not available, and it is in degree 356. Freezing point of mercury is minus 38.8. Now we have few solved examples. We will go ahead with the solved examples. How much will be the temperature of 68 Fahrenheit, B Celsius and Kelvin? Now we have to convert this to Celsius as well as in Kelvin. First of all, we will write the given things, and the given thing is Fahrenheit. Temperature in Fahrenheit, it is 68. Now we have to see temperature in Celsius and temperature in Kelvin. Very first formula, Fahrenheit and Celsius related, we are having a formula which is F minus 32 upon 9 is equals to C upon 5. This formula we have seen before few minutes. Okay. Now Fahrenheit is given. We can substitute the value of Fahrenheit. Okay. Then Fahrenheit 68 minus 32 upon 9 is equals to C is upon 5. Now whatever the subtraction, 68 minus 32, you will get 36. This is 9 upon, and this 5 will go with this multiplication. Then you will get C. Do this calculation, you will receive the value of C. C means Celsius. Degree Celsius. Okay. Now we have to convert this to Kelvin. Kelvin, we are having a very nice formula which is K is equals to C plus 273.1. Now we received here C, we can substitute instead of C, and 20 plus 273.15 is equals to 293.15. This is the addition. Hence we are getting over here temperature in Celsius and in Kelvin. This is the way of solution. Next, another example. Similarly, here another example is over here. You can go ahead with this example. At what temperature will its value be same in Celsius and Fahrenheit? Just go ahead with this numerical. If you have any doubt, then ask me. This is the part of your homework. Now we will go ahead with the thermometer. Have you ever seen the thermometer? Yes, obviously in practical lab we have seen the thermometer. In case if you are suffering with fever, then with the thermometer only the measurement doctor measures. Okay, so this is your thermometer. Different thermometers are there, like different types of thermometers are there. Clinical thermometer, digital thermometer, maximum minimum thermometer. So all these thermometer types are over there. Okay, so what is the use of thermometer? To measure the temperature. What is the use of thermometer? Measurement of temperature. Why we are using it? We need to measure. If you want to measure the temperature, you have to go ahead with the thermometer. Okay. And we can say in another words, there are two ways of use of thermometer. You can measure minimum temperature as well as maximum temperature in thermometer. Okay. And you can observe here the range of the thermometer. You can observe here with this red mark is given over there. There are the different uses. You can measure minimum as well as maximum temperature of the thermometer, and here are the ranges of the thermometer. See, this range is start at -10 and it will go to up to 100 degree Celsius. Okay. And there is a special type of thermometer is used to minimum and maximum temperature, which I said to you. It is called as maximum minimum thermometer. And there is a clinical thermometer. We have to measure the body temperature of a healthy person. If the healthy person is there, then his body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Okay. And clinical thermometer are designed to measure the temperatures between 35 to 45. These days, instead of the above type, digital thermometers are used for clinical purpose. One such thermometer is shown in this. See, this is digital thermometer. If you will go to the doctor, if the doctor checks measurement of fever, how much temperature is there, they are using this type of thermometer, which is a digital thermometer. Now we will go ahead with the another topic. You just read the remaining paragraph. Oral paragraph is very easy, only the reading part is there. About the thermometer, you should know the use of thermometer, that's it. And the use of thermometer is measurement of temperature, and you can measure two types of temperature. One is lower temperature as well as higher temperature. Next is specific heat. Specific heat of an object is the amount of heat required to increase the temperature of unit mass of that substance through 1 degree. Whatever object is there, the needed of the object amount of heat, whatever required heat is there, or whatever the required heat we need to increase for the specific object, of with respect to its unit mass, then we can say that substance to 1 degree. If you want to increase the temperature, obviously you will increase it by 1 degree only. So this is represented by symbol C. Specific heat is represented by symbol C, small c it is, okay, and its SI unit is joule per kg degree Celsius. Whose SI unit it is? It is SI unit of specific heat. Symbol for specific heat is small c. SI unit of specific heat is joule per kilogram degree Celsius. Similarly, you can find out the CGS unit, and the CGS unit of specific heat is calcium per gram degree Celsius. So suppose if you are taking Q amount of heat is required to increase the temperature of an object of mass m and specific heat C from Ti to Tf. What is the meaning of Ti and Tf? Ti is initial temperature and Tf is final temperature. Okay. So whatever the initial temperature you are giving with any object, whatever temperature you are giving, that is Ti, initial temperature, and after completing your activity or after giving heat to the specific object, whatever amount of temperature you are getting, which is final, that means Tf. Okay. So hope you are clear with this Ti and Tf. Now for the measurement of specific heat, we are having a formula, and the formula is Q is equals to Q is amount of heat and specific heat is small c. If you want to measure amount of heat, then formula is Q is equals to mass of a substance, specific heat of a substance, and their initial and final temperature. Subtraction of final to initial. So we have different substances and different specific heats. So we are going to learn more about the future classes. Now we have only this much specific heat is there for specific substance. So for aluminium, specific heat is 0.1, alcohol 0.58, gold 0.03, hydrogen 3.42, iron 0.11, copper 0.09, mercury 0.03, and water is 1. These are the specific heat for specific substances. Now we will go ahead with the another topic which is very interesting, and the topic is calorimeter. Calorimeter. Here you can observe calorimeter. See, this is the construction part of the calorimeter. One outer vessel is there. This is lid on it. One hole is there. Through the hole we are inserting thermometer in it, and one stirrer is there. With the help of this we can stir the water. This is inner vessel in which water is there, and this is air cavity. Okay, and this is heat resistant ring, and this is lid, heat resistant lid, and this one is the thermometer. So this is the construction of calorimeter. Now we have to see what is the use of calorimeter. So let's go ahead with the use of calorimeter. So we have seen thermometer is useful to measurement of temperature. Similarly, calorimeter is used to measure the heat content of an object. Whatever the amount of heat content is there with specific object, with the help of calorimeter we can measure the heat content of that object. Okay, so using this equipment which is calorimeter, we can measure heat produced or absorbed a physical or chemical process. Calorimeter you can observe in figure 4.5 which I have shown you recently. Similarly, to a thermoflask or calorimeter has two vessels, inner and outer, as we have seen inner and outer. This way no heat can transfer from inner to the outer vessel or from outer to the inner vessel. Thus inner vessel is thermally isolated from the surrounding. The inner surface is thermally isolated from the surrounding. The inner vessel is made up of copper. This inner vessel is made up of copper. This is inner vessel and this is made up of copper. Okay. A thermometer for measuring the temperature and stirrer is stirring the liquid in the calorimeter is fitted in it. Thermometer, why we are fixing? To measure the temperature of water, and stirrer is to stir the water. Okay. Water at a fixed temperature is placed inside the calorimeter. Whatever the amount of your water, temperature of water, suppose 70 degree, 80 degree, whatever temperature is there, that specific temperature of water, we are fixing the water in the calorimeter. And this means that temperature of inner vessel and that of water, both are same. In which vessel we are putting water? The copper vessel. The temperature of copper vessel is same as the temperature of water. When a hot object is placed in water, heat is exchanged between the hot object. When you are inserting any object, then heat gets exchanged with that object, and water and calorimeter, all three reach at the same temperature. When we are inserting water, calorimeter and object, all three are having same temperature. As the calorimeter is thermally isolated from the surrounding, the total heat lost the hot object is equal to the total heat absorbed by the calorimeter and water inside it. So whatever total heat is exchanged between the water, calorimeter, the addition of that amount of temperature is equals to the calorimeter's temperature. That means we can say that heat gets exchanged with objects. Now similarly, if we put cold object in calorimeter, the cold object will receive heat from the water and its temperature will increase, while water and calorimeter will lose heat and their temperature will decrease. So all this procedure is there to measure the amount of heat of that specific substance. Suppose the mass of the inner vessel in a calorimeter is mc. Why mc? This is mass of that specific heat. Not heat, the vessel is there. Its initial temperature is Ti and mass of the water in the calorimeter is mw, because in that calorimeter water is there. So temperature of water will be Ti. Suppose we place an object of mass m0 at temperature T0. T0 means which is 0 temperature almost in the calorimeter. Then T0 is the higher than Ti, which is initial. Object will give away heat to the calorimeter and water. Soon the temperature of all three will become same. Obviously, if you will put your hand into warm water, then and if you measure the temperature of your warm water and if you measure the temperature of your hand, then both the temperatures are same. Similarly, all these types is happening over here, and through this concept calorimeter we can measure the amount of heat, how much amount of heat gets exchanged with the another substance. So all these things only we have to see over here. Okay. Now we will go ahead with the same concept. Let us call final temperature Tf. Total heat given away by the object is Qo. This is heat given by the object will be equal to the sum of heat gained by calorimeter and water. Calorimeter and water gaining their heat. Okay, so we can write whatever the heat is given to the object, that heat is equals to addition of heat of calorimeter and heat of water. Okay, so as seen above, Qo, Qc and Qw depend on mass. Specific heat change in temperature of delta T. This delta T is meaning change of temperature, whatever higher to lower or lower to higher. Whatever temperature changes are there, we are representing with this delta T. If the specific heat of the material of calorimeter, water and object, so their specific heat is calorimeter, specific heat is Cc, the specific heat of water is W, and output, whatever output you are coming, object, so which is respectively. So with this formula we can write this here. Q is equals to m into delta T into C. Qo means object which we are inserting in the hot water in the calorimeter. Okay, similarly change of temperature for object is TO minus TF. Object temperature minus its final temperature. Okay, so these are the formulas. This is QW. Q means heat, mass of water, temperature of water, and C is calorimeter, the presence of calorimeters water. And delta TW means this will gives you the temperature changes of water. Okay, and it is final to initial, that is why TF minus TI is written. Hence with all these conditions we can finalize one concept, and one concept is this: object is equals to water and calorimeter. So whatever the heat amount of object is taken, that heat amount is equals to water's heat plus calorimeter's heat. So we can go ahead with this formula. This is mass, this is change of temperature, and this is calorimeter. So this is giving us the idea for masses, temperatures measurement, or we can say it as measure all masses and temperatures. If we know the specific heat of material of the calorimeter, in the calorimeter what is present over here? Copper. Obviously copper vessel is there. And that of water, if you know the temperature of copper and if you know the temperature of water, then we can calculate the value of specific heat of object using this formula. Let me show you this diagram again. If you know the measurement of temperature of this water, if you know the temperature of this copper vessel, then you can find out the temperature of object which you are inserting. Similarly, you can measure the specific heat for the same. If you know the specific heat for water, if you know the specific heat for copper vessel, then you can find out the object which is inserting in the calorimeter. You can find out the specific heat of that specific object. Okay. With this image you can find out calorimeter. See, inside this is wooden block. Inside in it you can observe copper vessel is there. This is stirrer. This stirrer is to handle the temperature of water should be equal overall side of this copper vessel, and this is thermometer to measure the temperature. So overall we can say this is calorimeter. Okay, so your homework is you have to draw this calorimeter diagram also. Okay, thanks for the lecture. We will go ahead with the next topic in the next lecture. If you have any doubt, just WhatsApp me, I'll clear your doubt.